Good morning! In this module, we will take a look at the importance of conducting a financial needs analysis. This module is our FNA Value Proposition. Our objectives for this module are the following. Have an increased appreciation of our FNA tool, the Access Solutions, and have an increased confidence in using this tool and especially presenting the 4 basic needs. Okay, our outline is this. First, we'll look at what do our clients commonly think about when we say financial planning. We'll also take a look at the common myths involved in financial planning. We'll look at the structure or the components of a good financial needs analysis. And we'll talk about concept selling, or our 4 basic needs. And we'll end this module with power phrases. Okay, when we say financial planning, our financial life is like a Rubik's Cube. Why is it like a Rubik's Cube? When you move one side of a Rubik's Cube, another side is affected. Our money is finite. And when we talk about planning our finances, we must be able to understand that one part of our finances affects the rest. So a lot of our clients wish they had these: a luxurious home, vacations, a fancy car, quality education for their kids, a comfortable retirement, and even a rich legacy. But commonly, the reality is something else. Some will live on a meager salary. Some will have health issues, credit card bills, loans, rising cost of education for everyone, and even volatile markets. When we do financial planning with our clients, it's important for us to understand the problems that they face. And not only that we are aware of the problems, but we are aware that different problems in each life stage. So, you see, when you talk to a young market or young client, commonly they have these problems. They move frequently between jobs. They have several credit card loans. They live as if there's no tomorrow. In other words, the common phrase, you only live once. Okay? When we move up into our next market, our older market, and talk to our clients who are in the middle age, they will have problems such as being overburdened by heavy loans, taking high risk for instant money, and even relying heavily on their employer benefits. Now we take another step to the next market and we meet those nearing retirement. Problems this market face is it's usually a preference only for fixed instruments when we talk about investments, and that means a lower rate of return. Commonly, they also fail to consider the longevity risk that is involved in retirement. In other words, what happens to them if they live too long and when they encounter an illness. Also, the liabilities that they've incurred over their past years do not end in an instant. So it is very important when we do financial planning and talk with our clients, we discuss these. What are their financial goals? How are they doing today in relation to their financial goals? And what can we do for us to get to their goal? Okay, I want to read this quote about financial planning. It says, "Financial planning is a dynamic process of meeting your life goals through efficient management of your finances." Take a look at keywords here. Dynamic process, meaning it does not happen only once in your life. It is an ongoing, continuous process that you will do through efficient management of your finances. planning will result to efficient management. That is financial planning. Let me ask you, when you see these pictures, how do you feel? When you talk to your client, how do they feel? What we want to do in financial planning is to take away these pictures, these images, and provide for them peace of mind. At the end of the day, that is what planning does. When we do financial planning for our clients, we want to take away the uncertainty out of life and bring in peace of mind for them. Now let's look at the myths that our clients commonly have when we talk about financial planning. Now, these myths are taken from an article, okay, that is used in the US. So some of the examples here are not quite local, but the principles stay the same. Myth number 1, only rich people need financial planners. The truth is, financial planning is for anyone who wants to organize their finances, set money goals, and make a plan to reach their goals. Myth number 2, my finances are simple. I can just go at it alone. The truth is, a financial planner could offer insight that a client cannot immediately see by themselves, possibly bringing up options that a client may not have discovered on their own. So it's not something that anyone can just simply do on their own. A financial planner can help give fresh insight into the financial planning process. The next myth, myth number 3, financial planners help people only with investing. Now the truth is, a good financial planner should not only focus on the returns of investment, but should be able to help a client with the whole spectrum of money life, which involves budgeting, insurance, and even estate and retirement planning, among other needs that a client commonly has. The next myth, once I hire a financial planner, I don't need to do anything. As I mentioned, this example, hiring, is a practice in other countries. Here, that is not necessarily the case, but the principle is this. When you get a financial planner, you basically don't do anything. That is a myth. The truth is, a good financial planner will require a client's input and would want to partner with the client. It is a partnership, not a one-way street. After all, it's the life goals of the client that needs working on. Okay, the next myth is this. Financial planners are interested only in making money. Now, I do understand that there is this notion on financial planners, but I would say this is not always the case. More often than not, you will find very good and honest financial planners. The truth is, when at least from a client's point of view, a client must consider looking for a financial planner who is a fiduciary. That means that the planner has met certain qualifications and is held to a standard requiring that he or she puts the client's interest first. There are a lot of bodies recognizing qualifications, certifying qualifications of a financial planner. And it is important that you be able to look for those types of financial planners because you know they will put your interest first. And the last myth, you don't need to pay attention to the credentials of your financial advisor. Now, very similar to the previous myth. The truth is, it is important for a financial planner to build their own credentials. The letters that follow a financial planner's name, and there are a lot, may be a sign that the financial planner has demonstrated good knowledge across many different financial topics. And when you see that type of financial planner, you know you are in good hands. Now, as a financial planner yourself, you must be sure that you build yourself up, build your credentials, because it is important to a client to see the credentials in his financial planner. Now let's talk about the essential components of a good financial analysis. What is a financial needs analysis? A financial advisor gathers information on clients' overall financial situation and goals, analyzes the information, and then recommends a financial product that is considered to be suitable for the client. Keywords: gathers information. Remember earlier, we said a financial planner must be able to ask the client, what are your goals? Gathering information. Second, they analyze the information. Where are you right now in relation to your goals? And then third, recommends a financial product. What can we do to get to your goal? Now, you could say that that is the simple way to look at it. And when you break it down, you'll have these elements of an FNA. A good FNA must have the financial objectives, must talk about the client's risk tolerance, must be able to assess the complete financial situation of a client. That includes assets, liabilities, cash flow, and income. It must also involve what they have currently. A good question is, where are you currently invested? Or what are your current types of insurance? That's their current investment portfolio. And you also talk about the number of dependents. And lastly, you know what is their time horizon for this plan. Okay, so how are we able to ensure that we get this out of our client when we do financial planning? Here are the steps to a good FNA. First, we establish the relationship. Next, we gather data. Third, we evaluate client status. Next, we develop the financial plan. Then we implement the plan, and then we monitor the recommendations. Now, I want to take a break and let you imagine our AXA solutions. Think about our script in our AXA solutions and look at all these steps. Establishing the relationship. We introduce ourselves. We introduce the company. And we even establish what kind of meeting we will do with a client. We gather data. We get their average income, and we even ask them, more importantly, we even ask them what are their priorities, what are their dreams. Then when we do a gathering of data, we evaluate how the client is doing right now. Remember, when we make a recommendation, we always ask, what is your provision already for this need? Then we develop a product. We come up with a product proposal. We present it to our client. And then when the client is ready, we implement this plan. We implement this proposal. And it must be clear, it does not end there. Again, financial planning is a dynamic process. After buying the plan, you must continue monitoring the plan, the status of your client. How are they in their needs? You will learn it is important that you meet your clients at least once a year. So that is your steps to a good FNA. Here are the benefits for you as a financial planner. Number 1, persistency. 2, case size. And 3, case count. Now let's look at them each in detail. First, persistency. Remember, one of the biggest measures of your business is persistency. What is persistency? It is the measure of your clients who continue paying for their plans as scheduled. If you have a low persistency, it will greatly affect your business. But if you do a good financial needs analysis, your clients will understand the value of keeping their policy. When your clients buy for the right reasons, do you think they will just let their policy lapse? No, they will do everything they can to keep that policy because they understood in the first place why they got the policy. Next, case size. When you talk to a client, imagine this, two types of financial planners. One already bringing a proposal and goes to a client and says, hey, buy this proposal, mura lang to, kayang-kaya mo to. Yes, he can end up with a sale, but the question is, was he able to really adequately provide for the client's needs? When you do a good financial needs analysis, I tell you, you will not settle with just a small need for your client. Because more often than not, real needs will always have higher coverages. When you start talking about needs, higher coverage becomes necessary. Think about it. Instead of just offering to your client 1 million, and you say this is a good amount, this is what you can afford, or mura lang to. Okay? How fast can a 1 million death benefit for a family who depend on that breadwinner, how fast can that last? Okay. Definitely when you do a needs analysis, you will uncover that 1 million won't be enough. That is why case size will be higher for you when you do financial needs analysis. And lastly, case count. As we go through our lives, we will not only have one need. It is often when you do a good financial needs analysis and present the common needs that people plan for, your client will realize multiple needs they need to cover. People always have multiple needs, not just one. Part of financial planning being a dynamic process. So there is no one product that can address every need. That is why when you go through your financial needs analysis, your client realizes multiple needs, you are able to recommend multiple products, higher case count. Now let's talk about needs-based and value-based selling. First, let's look at our needs-based. When you talk about a need is basic and uncomplicated. A need is a roof over our heads. That's a need. A need is food to eat. Now, when you talk about a want, needs versus wants. Wants is something a person desires or wishes for. What we want to be able to do when you talk about needs-based and value-based selling is for a client to want what they need. Is for a client to want what they need. They realize they need it and they will thus want it. Okay, let's talk about what needs-based selling focuses on. Needs-based focuses on identifying and fulfilling the customer needs. What do I need? Now, at this part, when we ask what do I need, this is the part of our Access Solutions where we present the 4 financial needs of a client. These are the 4 common needs anyone goes through when we do financial planning. Education, income protection, retirement, and health. Take a look at these. Current costs of education. These are your top schools. And look at this, LaSalle, Ateneo. Would cost you anywhere at $200,000 a year. And these are just current costs. This is just tuition. And an estimate 15 years from now, a 4-year course would cost 2.5 million pesos. That is the problem that is being addressed in education planning. Next, retirement. Everyone looks forward to a comfortable life after they work, after climbing, so to speak, the corporate ladder. But when we retire, the problem is income ceases, or at least income will lessen. And the problem is specifically for Filipinos is that 87% have no form of retirement plan. The truth is, a Filipino believes in a different form of retirement. Have many children. That is a Filipino trait. Maybe at least one of them will be successful and support the parents in retirement age. That is what we're trying to address. The mindset of being dependent on others during our retirement. That is why we plan for our retirement. Because the truth is, currently, on the average, 75% of seniors, Filipino seniors, are living poorly, and only 1% are living in luxury. So that is the importance of retirement planning. Next need, income protection. When you talk about income protection, it is basically the life insurance benefit or the death benefit that a breadwinner provides for their dependents. What we want is for our clients to live life to the fullest with peace of mind and security, knowing that if anything happens, they are prepared. Their dependents will be left with something that they could continue their lives. When the sole breadwinner dies, this is the question: who will bring home the income? What happens to the family when the source of income is taken out of the picture? Now, another sad statistic for us Filipinos is this: only 15% have a form of life insurance coverage. There are plenty of Filipinos who still need educating on the value of a life insurance plan. That is income protection, and that is why it is very important. Now, our final need is for health. We want to protect our future by being prepared in case of a major medical or health emergency. However, the problem is being ill, having a health emergency can be very expensive. Take a look at these figures. A dialysis would cost, on average, 50,000 a month. A bypass could cost for the surgery, that type of surgery, 600,000 pesos. A brain aneurysm surgery could cost 400,000 pesos. And a chemotherapy session, on the average, costs 60,000 pesos. And take note, a chemotherapy is done at least 6 times. And the problem, when you look at these figures, is 53% of healthcare expenses is paid out of pocket. That is why we plan for our health emergencies. Now look and think about all these 4 needs. As a financial planner, it is important that you guide your client to be able to prioritize the needs as they should be prioritized. This is what we call our hierarchy of financial needs. At the very bottom, you start with your health, followed by your protection. Only then will you consider savings and investments, and finally, your retirement. What this should show to your client is that your financial need base should be health. You must be able to cover for your need in health and protection first before you go higher to the pyramid. Why? If something happens, for example, you have been preparing, you've been saving well, investing well, but an emergency, such as a health emergency, or even the breadwinner is taken out of the picture, all your funds, because it is needed and because it is an emergency, all of your funds will be used. Your financial pyramid will crumble. But if you are able to put in place your health and protection first, you have a good support as you build the rest of your needs. Okay, so now we've already looked at and focused on the needs-based selling. We talk about value-based selling. Value-based selling focuses on creating the desire to address the need. This is what I said earlier. What we want is for our clients to realize that they need it and make them want their needs. An important question when doing financial needs analysis and when you're at this part, value-based selling, is this. Why is it important to you, Mr. Client? Why is education planning important to you? Why is retirement planning important to you? Now, as you ask that question, you must be able to dig deep, probe into your client's responses, and make them realize that the importance comes from 3 basic values. That is love, peace of mind, and security. Love for their family, their own peace of mind, security for their family and themselves. That is value-based selling. Why is it important to you? Why is it important that you are able to prepare for education? Why do you say that you want to send your kids to a good school? When these values come up, any one of these, you know that your client has realized the value of what they want, what they need, and it becomes a value-based selling process. Okay, now I'm nearing the end. This is my last module. Power phrases. What are power phrases? Power phrases stimulate your customer's feelings and trigger an emotional decision to buy from you. In other words, you've already presented the needs, you've already uncovered the value, and then you lock it in by using a power phrase. Why? Because this is the key. The key to a sale is, of course, an interview. Talk to your client. And the key to an interview is a disturbing question. And you could think about it as a disturbing phrase. What you want to do is to disturb your client enough for them to feel emotionally, this is what I need. Most people buy not because they believe, but because you, the salesman, believes. And a power phrase helps establish to your client that you really believe in what you are offering. Let me give you an example how to use power phrases. First, you briefly discuss, of course, like what we just talked about, a fact which you feel is important to the prospect in relation to their need. For example, we looked at the rising costs of education. Okay. The fact is, currently, this is the cost of education, and every year it goes up. So that's a fact. And then you use your power phrase to evoke emotion. Look at this. Mr. Prospect, did you know that the average cost for a 4-year course at present is around 600,000 and is expected to rise to 2.5 million pesos 15 years from now? That is the fact and the power phrase. If we are willing to spend that amount, that same amount, for properties and cars, don't you think it is important also to save at least half of it for our children's future? That simple question, make your client realize through his emotions, through your power phrase, the value of starting an education plan. That is power phrases. Now, I highly encourage you to get a comprehensive list of your power phrases, which can be found in the ARA manuals that we distribute whenever you attend ARA course. So that is your FNA value proposition. Why FNA is important, how you do FNA, and what composes a good FNA. In summary, when we go back to our objectives at the beginning of this module that we discussed, I hope you now have an increased appreciation of our FNA tool, the AXA solutions, and that you have more confidence in using this tool, and especially in presenting and discussing the 4 basic needs. Thank you for watching.
Good morning, AXA! In this video, we're going to show you how you could conduct the eFNA in 40 minutes or less. Good morning, Mr. Julio Balagtas.
Good morning.
My name is Leroy Tinsuan. I'm a financial executive of AXA Philippines, and here's my business card.
Oh, thank you.
I'm very thankful that you accepted my appointment to meet you today. All right, and how would you like me to address you?
You may call me Julio.
Julio, I'm thankful that Patrick asked me to give you a call as he felt that I might be of service to you. However, I had no idea of how I may be of help, and that's why I insisted on this appointment. Now, from the moment I called, you were probably thinking, he's probably going to sell me something, right? But what I am going to do is share with you why people continually avail of our services. And if at the end of this meeting you find that you have no need for it, just let me know and I won't bother you again. Fair enough?
All right.
What I will be sharing with you are financial planning concepts to help you identify your financial priorities. And to make this meeting meaningful, I will be asking a few questions, some of which you might find personal. Rest assured that any information that you do provide, we will keep with strict confidence. Lastly, if you do enjoy this presentation, okay, I'm sure you'd be happy to recommend me to your family and close friends. Won't keep me a secret, okay? So, shall we proceed?
Sure.
Okay. Julio, everyone has dreams in life. We all dream of having a better life for ourselves and for our family. And we all hope that those dreams come true. Am I right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure in the past, there was probably a time when you were able to achieve your dreams. Could you tell me a time when you last had your dreams come true?
That would be the time when I was able to send my kids to school and I was able to buy my new house.
Wow! Now, Julio, I would like to know, currently, what are your biggest dreams?
Well, I would like to see my kids graduate from college and be successful in their own fields of endeavor. And I would like to retire in Tagaytay.
Sounds great! Here in AXA, we help our clients get closer to their dreams. Let me tell you more about AXA. It's a global leader in financial protection based in Paris, France. It has been recognized as the #1 insurance brand by Interbrand, the world's leading brand consultancy firm, for 8 consecutive years. Okay? AXA has been making its presence felt in 64 countries across Europe, North America, and Asia Pacific. We have over 103 million customers with 166,000 employees and exclusive distributors. In the Philippines, AXA has partnered with Metrobank, the second largest bank and recognized as the strongest bank by the Asian Banker, where we have over 800,000 clients, each serving them with our individual and group insurance policies. Now, Julio, why should we plan for our future? In life, we have different life stages and different financial needs. From being single, to getting married, to having children, to seeing them grow up, and of course, preparing for retirement. Of course, single people would want the luxuries in life. They would want to save up for travel and leisure, have the most up-to-date gadgets, bags. Of course, when you do get married, you would be looking for a little bit more of stability. Married people would like to have their own home, maybe a car, and definitely priorities do change once they have dependents. Parents would want to be able to send their children to good schools. And of course, once your children have all matured and grown up, we would like to be able to prepare for our retirement and sustain ourselves through old age. So Julio, let me ask you, currently, what life stage are you in?
Right now, I would say I'm in the growing family stage.
Okay. Earlier, you mentioned that your biggest dream is to see your children graduate school and see them succeed in life. Aside from that, you wanted to be able to retire in Tagaytay. Could you tell me more about it?
Well, I think it's every parent's dream to see their kids graduate, be successful. And for myself, of course, I would like to stay in a place which I really love. The climate is good, the scenery is good. I really like Tagaytay and I would like to retire there.
Julio, you know what? I agree that what you just said is a typical dream of someone in your life stage. Now let me show you, okay, as a financial executive, how I can help you get closer to your dreams. I help my clients identify their financial priorities and create an individually designed solution to address their needs. I also help them improve their net worth and protect them against any form of risk. I also help my clients minimize their expenses and maximize their cash flow. That is why, as a financial executive, I will help you get closer to your dreams. How? By determining your life stage priorities, okay? Redefining the importance of insurance in your life, examining the type of financial protection you need, assisting you with your financial needs progress yearly, make your vision a reality, and start your journey to financial security now. So, how to achieve that financial security, Julio? By starting with a plan, okay? It's all about knowing what you want, knowing what you have, bridging the gap between what you want and what you have, and budgeting and managing your expenses, okay? And through AXA's global expertise and strength and your commitment, together we can create a plan to help you achieve a financially secure future. Does this sound good to you, Julio?
Good so far.
All right. So what are the things that we should prepare for? Well, we are in the business of saving for expected events and preparing for unexpected events. We build wealth, okay, for the education of our children and for the retirement that we face in the future. However, Julio, most dreams don't come true. Why? Because of the lack of discipline that people have. Usually, we spend first before we save. The correct attitude should be, we save first and then spend what is left. Did you know that tuition fees increase by an average of 10% per year? Meaning, if you were to send a child to college in 15 years, it would cost them around 2.5 million just to finish college. Did you know that 87% of Filipinos have no retirement plan? And that will lead to either two things. One, they have to rely on their children when they reach their golden years. Or two, they have to continue working after they retire. Now, it's not just about preparing for the expected events, but also for the unexpected events. Okay? We help sustain life when people are taken out of the picture or when they are struck with a critical illness. Life has a big if in the middle. Either we live too long with a disability or we expire too early. Did you know that only 15% of Filipinos have life insurance? Now, if you don't have one yet, have you thought about who will take care of your family in case of your untimely demise? Next, did you know that HMOs can only cover roughly 25% of a critical illness? Meaning you will still have to shell out 75% just for you to recover from a critical illness. Now, Julio, after learning about these 4 basic needs and considering the big dream that you told me earlier, which among these 4 needs would you consider your topmost priority?
I think that would be retirement.
Okay, Julio, retirement. Now, why is retirement so important for you to address?
Well, I would like to spend some time for myself, and of course, some time with the kids, the family, and not worry about anything else.
Yes, Julio, I agree that you want to be able to spend more time with your loved ones and enjoy the fruits of your hard work. But why is it important that you be able to enjoy those?
I do not want to be a burden to them when the time comes.
Thank you, Julio, for sharing that. Yes, Julio, I do agree that because you love them and you want to enjoy that peace of mind and security for your family, that you want to address retirement. Now, I want you to imagine, okay, what would you want to happen when the day comes when you finally have to retire? Now, let me put it into perspective. What would it mean if you were not able to address this specific need?
Oh, that would be a big problem because I would have to worry about everything.
So, what should we do to prevent that from happening? Okay? So, are you prepared to retire in comfort? It's very simple, Julio. Okay, we can prepare through a retirement plan. A retirement plan will augment your company's retirement benefit, and it is a hassle-free and less risky way of saving up for your retirement since it will be handled by professionals. Now, let me put it into perspective for you. The amount that you will need in 15 years to maintain your standard of living will definitely change due to inflation. Assuming a 5% average inflation rate, if you were earning around 75,000 pesos a month, you would need around 156,000 pesos in 15 years. If you were earning 50,000 pesos, then you'd need 104,000 pesos to maintain your standard of living. If you were earning 25,000 pesos, then you would need around 52,000 pesos in 15 years to maintain that standard of living. Let me give a very good example to this. Back in the 80s, Coke would only cost us 10 pesos for 1 liter. In the 90s, well, it became 15 to 20 pesos for a liter. Now, it costs around 32 pesos for a liter of Coke, right? And the surprising thing that NEDA found, like what I said earlier, is that 87% of Filipinos have no retirement plan whatsoever. 75% are living poorly. 15% are just getting by. Only 9% can say that they live in comfort, and only 1% live in luxury. Okay? Julio, if I could show you a way to help you get closer to your dreams that is within your current budget, would you consider it?
Of course.
Julio, I want you to start living a life of comfort and achievement, and then a life that you can secure for your loved ones and yourself. Alright? I will be asking a few questions so that we can get closer to your dreams. Sounds good?
Yeah.
Okay. So please do tell me about yourself. Let me type this for you. May I please know your last name?
Balagtas.
Your first name?
Julio.
Your middle name?
Alvarez.
Your birth date?
It's October 8, 1970.
Okay. Could I have your email?
That would be jbalagtas@gmail.com.
Okay. And could I have your contact number, please?
It's 0920 626 4301.
Okay. Next, Julio, I would need to know how much your personal monthly gross income is.
It's 150,000.
Okay. Thank you for that. Next, may I know if you have any dependents?
I have 2.
Okay. May I please get their birth date?
One is May 9, 2002,
Okay.
and the other one is January 24, 2012.
Both boys?
No, the older one is a girl.
Okay. Julio, based on the information you have provided, I am excited to share with you the results of your financial needs assessment. For you to be able to retire in comfort, you would need around 12 million pesos for your retirement. You will need an education fund worth 900,000 to pay for your children's tuition during their college years. In the event of your untimely demise, your family would need around 4.5 million pesos to make sure that they can still live in comfort. And in case you are stricken with critical illness, you would need around 1.5 million pesos. Now let's first address the identified topmost priority, which is retirement. We recommended a retirement fund worth 12 million pesos. We made the following assumptions. The retirement age in the Philippines is 65, whilst the mortality rate in the Philippines is around 80. With that, we are assuming a 15-year benefit payout for you to enjoy. Aside from that, we have assumed your monthly expense rate to be 50% based on your monthly income for you to enjoy a 75,000 peso monthly pension. For you to have this, you would need to set aside anywhere between 5 to 15% of your monthly salary. Do note, Julio, that if you start later, you may have to spend more than 15%. Now, let me ask, would you have any provisions for retirement?
Right now, none.
None. Okay. So, our solution for you is Retire Smart. Now, what's Retire Smart? Retire Smart is our regular pay variable insurance product, meaning it has two sides. It has insurance protection and investment to help you grow your funds for your retirement. Now, what's good about Retire Smart is that it has 4 exclusive funds that you can choose from based on what is the closest to your retirement date. Now here, AXA Solutions is recommending the 2035 fund since this is the closest to your target retirement date. So Julio, is this something that you are interested in?
Yes, very much.
Okay, let's continue. Now let me give a deeper picture into Retire Smart. Retire Smart has target date funds which are specifically designed to build your retirement reserves over time. AXA's professional fund managers will maximize your money's growth during the initial years of the fund, investing in equities in the PSE. And of course, during the latter years of the funds, they will switch to a more conservative stance, investing now in bonds and government bills. Let me just remind you of the product that you've chosen, Julio. It is Retire Smart with the sum insured of 1.6,701,500 pesos with a basic annual premium of 365,000 pesos. Can we proceed?
Sure.
Okay. Julio, I would just like to ask for you to double check the information I've provided. Everything seems good?
Yeah.
If I may ask, do you smoke?
Nope.
Okay. This portion will allow us to create a more comprehensive coverage for you. You may attach riders. Now, what are riders? Riders are attachable supplements to your basic policy that will give you additional benefits for a minimal cost. Okay, here we have 3 riders, 2 of which are optional. We have our Care Premier or our daily hospital income rider, which will provide you daily income in case you are hospitalized for multiple days. We also have our Secure or our Accidental Death Benefit rider, which will add additional death benefit in case you are taken out of the picture due to an accident. Now, what's great about Retire Smart is that it also has the mandatory waiver of premium. Waiver of premium protects you and your policy in case you become totally and permanently disabled, ensuring that you can still enjoy the benefits of your policy even if you can no longer pay your premiums. So Julio, which among these riders would you like to avail of?
Well, secure sounds good, but can I think about care?
Okay, sure. No problem. If you do change your mind in the future, we could always add them again.
All right.
Next, Julio, we have the top-ups and withdrawals. Now, this will just give us a projection in the future when you retire. Here, it shows at the policy year of 19, you can withdraw around 925,200 pesos as your annual pension. Okay, you can also add top-ups, which are additional premium injections to increase and strengthen your investment. We could also add transactions in any future policy year should you have a requirement for it. So Julio, is this something that you like?
Yes, very much.
Okay, with that, I will be generating a proposal for us to discuss.
All right.
Julio, I am proud to show you my proposal for Retire Smart. Retire Smart, okay, will help you achieve your dream of being able to retire in Tagaytay and appreciate the success of your children. Your chosen fund is the Retire Smart 2035 Fund. Now, considering that you have chosen this, with a 8% fund growth, you could achieve around 12 million pesos in living benefits. If the growth rate of the fund is at 10%, then it would be 14 million pesos or above. Do note that these are merely projections and are dependent on market performance. Okay? Like what I mentioned earlier, the strategy of the funds is to build towards your goal. During the early years, it would be focused on maximizing your investment by growing it and preserving it during the latter years. Now, like what I mentioned earlier, there are 4 exclusive funds for Retire Smart. Currently, you are in the 2035 fund, but should you realize that you would want to retire earlier or you would like to move your retirement to a later date, you may do so by switching funds. Not to mention, you can also enjoy the guaranteed protection that waiver of premium offers you in case you become totally and permanently disabled. Earlier, we've also discussed the other riders and you've availed of the secure rider. Should you decide to attach the other riders such as protector, care, or the critical conditions coverage, we may do so still. Here we can see a breakdown of your premium payments. Your annual premium will be 368,732 pesos. You may opt to pay it annually, semi-annually, or quarterly or monthly. We also have the special features of Retire Smart, such as a fund switch allowing you to change which funds you would like to be invested in. We have top-ups, which allow us to strengthen our investment by adding premium injections. We also have Premium Holiday, which is a cessation in premium payments. However, let me warn you against this, as availing Premium Holiday will hamper the growth of your investment. We also have Level Death Benefit, which also states that should you leave your family behind, your family will receive either the sum insured or the account value of your investment, whichever is higher. Lastly, you have the option to attach further supplements should you decide that it is needed. Julio, this next table will illustrate the benefits of Retire Smart. Now, at the age of 65, you would have invested around 6 million pesos. Now, based on specific growth rates, you may enjoy the following benefits. If the growth rate was around 4%, then you would enjoy around 8 million pesos. If the growth rate was around 8%, then you would enjoy around 12 million pesos as a living benefit. It could be higher if it were 10%, then you would enjoy around 14 million pesos. Do note again, Julio, that this is all based on market performance. Okay? What would then happen if you went on premium holiday? For example, you went on premium holiday and at the age of 65, you had only invested 668,000 pesos. Then, come that time, based on an 8% rate of return, you would only enjoy around 6 million pesos. This table shows us the other performances of AXA's funds, from our Philippine Wealth Bond Fund, Philippine Wealth Equity Fund, to our two icon funds. Okay? So Julio, is this a policy that you are interested in availing of?
Yes, very much.
Okay, are you happy with this proposal?
Yeah,
All right, so may I approve this proposal?
let's go.
Okay, thank you. Julio, to process your application, I would just need to get further details from you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay. Julio, I'd need to ask you, may I please know your place of birth,
Manila.
your civil status?
Married.
Are you a U.S. citizen or tax resident
No,
by any chance? Okay. I need to see one identification card, if you would have one with you.
My driver's license?
Okay, that would do. Okay, thank you. I'll just copy the ID number. Thank you. Julio, what would your profession be?
I am a data programmer.
Okay. May I ask who your employer is?
Tech Manila.
Okay. Next, what would your height be?
5'8",
5'8". And your weight?
190.
Okay. Next, Julio, I need to get your contact details for your policy delivery. Would you prefer it to be mailed in your office or your home?
My home.
Okay. Could I get your home address?
My address is 17 Acacia Street, Marikina City.
Okay. Next, may I please have your zip code?
1255.
Next, for future references, may I also have your business address?
It's 179 Shaw Boulevard, Mandaluyong City.
May I have your zip code as well?
1405.
Next, Julio, I would like to ask you, what is the purpose of the insurance you're applying for?
For retirement and income protection.
All right. Now, I would like to ask who your beneficiaries would be.
That would be my wife.
Your wife, of course. May I know your wife's name?
Angela David Balagtas.
She lives in the same address?
She does.
Her birthday would be...
November 28, 1975.
Okay. Her place of birth?
Manila.
May I please have her contact number?
It's 0936 8100173.
And her occupation?
She's a nurse.
Oh, that's nice. And you would name her your primary beneficiary, yes? And you would like her to receive?
I'll give her 100%.
100%. Next, Julio, I will be asking you a few questions. I hope you don't mind. First off, okay, do you smoke cigarettes?
Nope.
Okay. In the last 2 years, have you consulted a medical doctor or have been referred for tests or investigation or had any medical tests done?
None.
In the last 2 years, have you been diagnosed or received treatment, medication, or advice pertaining to unexplained weight loss, high blood pressure, heart or lung disease, diabetes, tumor or cancer, mental or neurological dysfunction, liver disease, or any other ailment with or without physical impairment?
No.
Okay. Have you had at least 2 immediate family members, parents or siblings, who were diagnosed or died of hypertension, diabetes, heart or kidney disease, mental illness or cancer, or any disease not mentioned above prior to age 50?
None.
Including this new application, is your total insurance coverage above 3 million? If yes, please provide the company name, product type, and or rider's amount of coverage and issue date.
None. This will be the first.
In the last 2 years, have you participated in scuba diving, bungee jumping, motor racing, or hazardous sports or activities for more than 3 times?
No.
Are you and or your immediate family members entrusted with appointed or elected positions in the Philippines or in any foreign state? A senior politician, judicial or military official, senior executive of government or state-owned or controlled corporations, or political party official?
No.
Have you been involved or included in any lawsuit or litigation?
No.
Okay. Next, I will be asking you, is this policy that you are getting a replacement for an already existing policy?
No.
Would you have any special instructions that you would like to endorse?
None.
You will be the owner of this policy, correct?
Yes.
Next, I would just need to know your sources of funds for when you pay premiums. Will you be paying using your salary?
Yes.
Okay, and your salary is?
It's 150,000.
Do you have any income from business?
None.
What about from your savings? Will you be using that to pay for your premiums?
No.
Do you have any maturing investments?
None.
Do you have any other source of income that you would be using for your premium payment?
None.
Okay. Now, I would just like how you would be paying for your premiums. Will you be paying annually, quarterly, semi-annually, or monthly?
I think I would go for semi-annual.
Okay, great. And how would you like to pay for it?
Credit card.
Credit card? All right. Mr. Julio, I have now generated your application form for life insurance. I would just like to run it quick with you to double check that all information are correct.
All right.
Is the information provided right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you for that. So, could we approve the application?
Sure.
Sir Julio, I would just like to have your signature, of course, as a proof that you have accepted this application. Here is a stylus for you to sign.
Okay. May I?
Sure. All right. Thank you for that. And of course, our place of signing is in Manila. Sir Julio, this is your signature.
Yes, it is.
Sir Julio, now that we've addressed your topmost priority, let's go back and see which one you would like to address next.
Could we discuss that next time?
Sure, not a problem with me. With that in mind, I would like to set up our next appointment date so we could further address the next need that you would like to address. And of course, if there are any amendments or updates to your existing policies. How does March 2018 sound to you? Around the 9th of March.
March 9 sounds good.
Okay. Sir Julio, I would like to ask you, did you enjoy this presentation?
Yes, very much.
What was your favorite part about this presentation?
That will be the part when you identify that I really need to prepare for my retirement.
That's great to hear. And earlier I mentioned that if you enjoyed this presentation, that you would recommend me to your close friends and family. I was thinking that maybe we could brainstorm a little bit about those people who you think would appreciate this kind of service that I provide.
Of course.
Sir Julio, could I have the name of your best friend?
That would be Augusto Visda.
Okay, could I have his mobile number?
Oh wait, let me check. 0920 812 4413.
And could I have his email address?
It's avisda@gmail.com.
Okay. Next, maybe I could have your boss.
That would be Joff Tan.
Okay.
0917 332 1315.
Okay. Could I have his email address?
It's j.tan@techmanila.com.ph.
Could I have maybe a colleague that you would like to recommend?
Marie Raimundo.
Okay. Her mobile number would be?
It's 0920 626 1933.
Okay, and her email address will be?
m.raimundo@techmanila.com.ph.
Julio, thank you very much. Okay, please expect your policy to be delivered to your home within 2 to 3 weeks. Now, I would just like to level expectations. There may be a requirement of a medical, but no need to worry. It's free and I can accompany you.
All right.
So Julio, again, congratulations for making this decision and trusting AXA as your partner in helping you achieve your dreams. Thank you so much, Mr. Balagtas.
Thank you.
And there you have it. We were able to identify the client's financial needs and propose solutions using the eFNA tool, AXA Solutions. Thank you for watching.